I was very young when I first snuck into Dad's room. He had a pile of writings there, but one in particular spoke to me. The date on the cover was from the year I was born. My name was written at the top, and below that was paragraph after paragraph of kind words for his beloved child. I'd often doubted he even remembered me at all, so I held it tight and read furiously. I want to show my beloved daughter all the secrets that slumber in this wide, wide world. I want to prove to her that I have lived, and I want her to know how so very beautiful the world can be. That's why I'm writing down my adventures starting today, so that someday she can know all this for herself. My only wish is that her life be filled with joy and wonder. I would give anything for that. Dad was a large, loud, awkward man. And he was terrible at expressing his feelings, especially love. But in that moment, I suddenly understood him. The date on that entry was 3 months after my birthday. Mom told me he was off adventuring the day I was born. He must have written it when he came back. That's just the kind of man he was. After that, my impression of him changed. Once I knew he loved me, really knew it, my feelings of defiance and revulsion slowly began to change. A few days after I snuck into his room, he came home. Like always, he got hammered, fought with Mom, and stomped off to his room. I was still young, and though I understood him a little bit better, I hadn't had time to process everything yet, so I was still annoyed. It was hard to hear them fight, especially because I knew how much it hurt Mom. And like I said, I was still processing everything. But somehow, I mustered up the courage to give him a present. It was the next morning, just as he was heading out. The snow was heavy that day. I woke up early, walked outside, and handed him a letter and a good luck charm I'd carved out of wood. It was the first present I'd ever given him, and he looked a little shocked to receive it. But then he smiled at me, muttered an awkward thank you, and tucked them both away in one of his pockets. That smile made me feel like my heart was going to burst. Then he walked over the horizon and disappeared. I was euphoric, flying, so I ran back inside and asked Mom to teach me how to knit. I wanted to make him a pair of mittens for when he got back. I'd never given a damn about knitting before, but now making something nice for Dad was all I could think about. Maybe I thought it would make up for all the coldness I'd shown him over the years. Unfortunately, I was never able to give him those mittens. Because after he left that day, he never came back. I've been waiting for 10 years now. You're back, you're back. Tell me a story, an adventure story. When I open the door and enter the house, my little brother runs up and attaches himself to my leg. He's far happier than I ever was at that age, and why not? He's healthy and loved, and has the whole outdoors as his playground. But unlike me, all he knows about Dad are his stories. I'm gonna be an adventurer just like you, sis. I now travel the world as a fledgling adventurer. And on the occasions I make it home, I always make sure to spin my brother a tale or three. The records my father left behind are my most precious treasures. Mom was beside herself when I told her I was going to be an adventurer, but she eventually came around. You can only fight what's in your blood for so long, you know? I still remember what Dad said that night. You know, if you were a boy, I'd take you on an adventure with me. I hated him in that moment, and it took a long, long time for that hate to finally drain away. And while I couldn't express what I felt when I was a kid, I can put it into words now. He was wrong. I knew he was wrong, and I wanted him to admit it. So I'm going to prove to him that a woman can be just as skilled an adventurer as any man. I guess I really am his daughter, huh? Anyway, if I ever find him out there in this great wide world, I'll do what Mom would do and give him holy hell. And each time I set out for some new and unseen land, I pray this is the time where it will finally happen. And of course, I always carry the mittens. You know, just in case.